Okay, this is well, this is kind of an introductory video. There's this crowded screen here because I'm running it at a lower resolution so I can actually record it. But this is Star Trek Online. If you can't tell by the Star Trekky symbol and all this nonsense down here, all this is going to look very confusing to you if you've never seen this game before. My ship is behind this thing in the middle of my screen, so let me just kind of drift away from that to remove that. There we go. There's me, my glorious little ship here. It's very Star Trekky. This is more so to see if there was any sort of interest in, well, seeing this. Not so much a Let's Play. Ultimara, Idiotic Ultimara is, as far as I'm aware, doing a Let's Play of it, like full-on Let's Play, if I'm not mistaken. Mine would be more so random missions or anything I do with Doom, because he also plays this game. Stuff like that. Any of the PvE stuff, PvP stuff. Right now I don't have all the PvE stuff unlocked because I'm a lower level. On this character I am level 23. But if there was any interest in that, there's a distress call. Even if there's not interest, I'll probably do it anyway because that's how I roll, but I'm just curious if there is. It's a good game. If you look at my Steam account, I've been playing it for like 90 hours or something crazy ridiculous like that. I'm aware that is crazy ridiculous. The Steam group, I am the sole player of the #1 game on the Steam group, the #1 played game on the Steam group, out of like 30 something people or however many people are in that. Join the Steam group. Good times to be had, and all the announcements and stuff get announced on the Steam group as it happens and stuff like that. Anyway, this is Star Trek. I'm going to go ahead and jump into this alert signal just to give you a quick showcase of what it is, if it's still even going. This might be over. Yeah, it's over. Darn. And they failed too, good job. You know what, actually, what can I show that's really quick? Those are quick because you can just leave them willy-nilly, and this is my crew. They're flashing at me because they've completed some crap. You can give your crew missions, you've got missions. Let me just show you the available missions that I have right now. All of these are available right now. I'm only doing the storyline, basically. Storyline, PvE, stuff like that, because I'm trying to level as quickly as possible. But there's system patrols, there's dailies, there's hourlies, there's all sorts of stuff. Lots of explore missions, there's asteroid mining, there's outreach, there's a few from Mr. Franklin there. Mr. Franklin. There's community-authored missions that you can do that I could showcase if there's any interest in that. Like I could go through the top-rated for the week or the showcased ones, because every once in a while when you log in there will be a screen that pops up like featured mission that you can do, community-authored mission that you can do, stuff like that. There's a lot for this game. If you had seen previously when the game first got released what it was, that was crap. I will admit the game was absolute terrible crap at that point. But then Cryptic took it over, and Cryptic's actually doing a pretty darn good job of, and all these people joined the, whatchamacallit that I was just in. Cryptic's doing a pretty good job of it. It is free to play if you are interested in it. The C store, Cryptic Points, is the stuff that you can that you would get for paid stuff. So there's certain ships that don't really have much advantage until level 50. All of the level 50 ships, as far as I'm aware, are only purchased ships. I do have some Cryptic Points. I have 300 right there. Because you can actually take dilithium, which you can get for free, 8,000 a day. I have 13,000 right now on me. And you can take that dilithium and trade it for Cryptic Points. So you can technically, albeit it will take an extremely long time, get everything in the game without paying a single penny out of your own pocket, which is nice. It just takes an obscenely long amount of time. May as well show the map here. This is the area map. This is the sector that I am in. Or sorry, sector block, I should say. I am in the... what sector block am I in? I don't even know. But this is just one sector block. These are all little encounters that you can fly into, and other random people will be in there. all the different systems and stuff like that. And this is the galaxy map. So I'm in the Alpha Centauri block in the Sierra sector. There's me right there. So the Alpha Centauri block is these 3 sectors right here, and you can see they're split vertically like that. And then there's all these other sector blocks. There's Klingon space down there, and all this other lovely stuff. There's Battle Group Omega, killing some Borgs down there. All about the Borgs. That's basically endgame is the Borgs, and you can see each of the quadrants. There's Alpha Quadrant, Beta Quadrant, and whatnot. It's got all the little details. Also, it goes in seasons, not so much that your stuff is removed each season. Well, actually episodes, I should say. Well, seasons, episodes, I guess. But Season 6, I'm going to keep calling it season because that just makes the most sense to me, is supposed to be coming, or it may have already come. I don't think it already came, but regardless, it's supposed to be coming soon, and it's supposed to change a bunch of stuff. Like, there's supposed to be major changes all over the place, and whatnot. So Cryptic's doing a good job with the game. If you tried it before and it was terrible, you should go ahead and give it another try. It's free, so you can't really lose much. I quite enjoy it. So now that I've rambled on for 7 minutes without actually playing the game, thank you for those of you who managed to stay here during those 7 minutes of me rambling. I'm going to go ahead and cut it off here. I might splice in some... Actually, you know what? Let's do... Is there anything that's about to start? Let's do a Starbase 24 fleet action. These are PvE, well, fleet actions, basically. So it's all players versus all environments. So you can see all these other players that are popping in. Keep in mind, my current weapon setup is not optimal. I was just trying something out. So these Miranda-class frigates are NPCs. This is my team right here. Everyone with a white name is on my team. Anyone with a blue name is not. So we're going to go ahead and watch this guy raffle through everything. May as well just start firing. And this is what space combat's like. Yay, space combat. I have it set to auto-target and auto-fire just to simplify things, but if you want more control, right-clicking something will take it auto-fire on or off. Stuff like that. A la Star Trek, there are 4 shield facings that you can control. Left, right, forward, and rear is what I tend to call them. So you can manage which shield facing is facing the enemy. You can spin around and try and keep your shields up and running, etc., etc. The very first part of this mission, by the way, is going to be extremely easy, and I have the chat box closed. Should be the chat box down here. Yeah, because the screen resolution is so small, it kind of crowds the screen space. I'm going to show you a slight problem I have with this mission in the enemy spawning. All of the other missions have a kind of forward-flowing one, but this one revolves entirely around Starbase 24, which is that base back there. So there's no real movement for the players in it, like any sort of forwardly direction. I'm going to go this way so I don't get horribly murdered. But once you kill the first 50 ships, Klingon ships, these are all really low-ranking, like fighters and basic ships like that. So they're all going to be super easy. And you can see the enemy hitting my forward shield. I can click on it and put extra power into it, pass on that because those are worthless, to keep it up and running. Also, weapons have firing angles, which I'll show you right here. You can see it around my ship there in the front. So these have a 90-degree targeting arc. My lasers were glitching out. This fighter appears to be glitched into the there we go. I thought he was like glitched into it. And holy crap, spam on the screen. I think you could turn that off somehow. There's a lot of HUD customization. I think it's this. No, it's notifications. I can't hide it. Can I just like stuff it somewhere? Let's stuff it over there and see how that works. So notifications will be down there, because I don't really want to see those mass notifications. I thought you could hide it, but I guess not. May as well fly towards some more enemies here. Nagva warship. I don't know how to pronounce anything Klingon, so I'm gonna. Yeah, it's down there now. That's a bit better, since I don't. Although it might. I don't know if it'll scroll up or not. But anyway, so my 3 forward-facing weapons here have a 90-degree targeting arc. My speed's over here, by the way. When that's blinking, I'm going in reverse, which puts a power drain on you. I have an assignment buff, apparently. That's crew assignments, they'll give you buffs and stuff. You can see buffs and debuffs on stuff. These are all my skills that each of my bridge officers may have. May as well take that too. I need everything, trust me. I usually don't need everything, by the way, and 9 more ships until the mass blob of death occurs. But you have voice chat for your team. I have it turned off, but you can see their voice chat is disabled, and I probably shouldn't have flown into that, so I'm going to use some skills. This is beam fire at will, which will fire my lasers at basically everything in front of me. Because my lasers are only forward facing. Usually I'll have beam arrays, which have a 250-degree firing arc. Gotta be careful with flying into stuff like that, and this is what happens when you get horribly massacred. Should be paying more attention here, so drop that up. There we go, bursting some skills here. I am an engineer, which means I am very tank-oriented. So I have a lot of healing skills. You can see the green, my hull points are healing right now. I have a lot of anti-debuff skills, stuff like that. I have crew saving mechanism skills and things. I probably should have flown into this crew here by myself. Usually, by the way, it's optimal to stay with your group. Luckily my group appears to be coming to save me, so we should be good. Let me just fly in this direction. Anyway, my 3 weapons in the back, you can see they are firing constantly, basically. Those are turrets. They are the only weapon with 360-degree firing arcs. However, weapons are balanced with... I probably shouldn't have done fire at will, since I can't even fire yet, because I have to spin my ship around. And this is the problem I have with this mission. Bunches of stuff spawn basically directly on top of you, so I'm just going to let my ship die. Because quite frankly, there's no way I can tank that stuff spawning on top of me. That's the problem I have with this mission. This is the only mission that I'm aware of that has this problem, so keep that in mind. I'll probably show the STFs, which are end-game raid kind of things. You can see everyone dying off on the left side here. This guy's trying, but there he goes. He's probably out of range. Usually what you want to do is stay off to the side, throw all of your power into speed. I don't need that, I'll greet it. Throw all your power into speed and then burst your evasive maneuvers, which will boost your flight speed by a lot, so you can very quickly get out of encounters. One thing is you do have impulse, which if you're not a Star Trek kind of guy and you don't know what impulse is, that is all power to engines, makes you fly really fast. You can see me do it periodically, but you can only do it when you're not in combat. So for instance, right now it's disabled. It's this button up here, by the way, so I can't use it right now. So whenever there's an alert condition red, you cannot use your impulse, and I'm going to try and shoot this guy since he's more forward of me. May as well. Can I spin around? There we go. This is the problem with high DPS weapons on a cruiser, which is what I'm flying. Cruisers cannot turn worth a crap. These kind of weapons are meant more for... Whoa. Be careful there. You gotta be careful with these warships, because they have some huge DPS potential. So if your shields drop and there's a couple of them around, you will lose a bunch of hit points very rapidly. But anyway... tactical ships, such as this guy right here, have a much faster turn speed. You can see them flying around close range. They have the ability to basically just get right up on people's faces and get some huge DPS out. But this is space combat. There's also ground combat in this game, which I'm not particularly fond of, but it can be alright on the later levels. Doom says it reminds him of Diablo, with the amount of enemies coming at you and stuff like that, which is kind of true. There is some hefty amount of enemies in those. But for tactical ships, this is kind of an optimal layout. Cruisers will usually tend to have beam arrays, because they can... Apparently I'm going to start shooting at this guy down here. Because they can not turn very well, so they want to be broadsiding stuff with beam arrays and whatnot. But, like what he's doing right there, where you can see he broadsides stuff occasionally. Let me see if I can get someone doing it proper. Not really. Everyone appears to have forward-facing weapons right now. May as well shoot that guy. But, if you're a tactical ship, this is kind of an optimal layout where you have, cannons in the back and a bunch of low-angle weapons facing in the front. So all of your weapon firepower will be directed to the front. If you don't have cannons in the back, you will have to, and you can see the amount of enemies here, you will have to spin your ship around to whatever angle to get your weapons to fire on the target, and I'm going to do something foolish and fire at will. That guy down there is doing fire at will as well. Fire at will is an awesome beam skill. In my opinion, you get some hefty DPS. The downside is it pisses everybody off. As you can see here, they no longer like me, and I need to... also, another thing is your defensive ability is based on your speed, so for instance, if you're stopped or going backwards or something like that, you have basically 0 defense capability, which is the chance you'll dodge laser shots or whatever. So you want to try and keep moving as often as possible. May as well heal my hull points there since they're slightly damaged. You'll notice all of my crew is dead. The only thing that I'm aware of that crew does is hull repair, native, or what is it called? What would it be called? Nobody knows. Can I go in reverse and try and hit this guy that's below me here? Also, your angle of fire also goes below and above your ship, so since he's so far below me, I seriously doubt I'm going to be able to hit him, so... Let's shoot at this guy, shall we, since he's kind of in front of me already. Simplify that, won't it? There we go. I also have a power to weapons, so emergency power to weapons, that'll boost my weapon power, which then boosts their damage output, because your weapon damage is based on how much power you have placed into your weapons there. Nice touches like that, and my torpedo just flew off into space there, and I am taking way more damage than I should. Let's do that. This is my emergency skill. It has a huge cooldown, but it takes 3% of all weapon damage going into lasers, or into shields, and puts that into the shield hit points. Which, for all intents and purposes, makes you immune to damage. You can still get damage through your shields, because there is a bit of piercing damage through shields. Now you see why I don't usually pass that. I don't pick up block boxes ever. Now you see why I usually use beam arrays, because I'm almost always in a position of broadside, because cruisers turn so slowly. The problem with that is the DPS is way lower than, for instance, my setup I have right now. It also has a lot more power drain. A full set of beam arrays in broadside has a huge amount of power drain. It gets kind of crazy. There's also teamwork. For instance, this guy is being his shields. This guy are being healed by this dude over here. He looks to be a science vessel. Is he? Yeah, he's a research, which means he's a science vessel. Science officers are kind of buff and debuff oriented. Engineer officers are kind of tank related. They can be used to heal others hull points or shield points or something. Or their own. Typically, they heal their own and use beam fire at will to get all the aggro onto them, just so they don't have to worry about healing others. It's a bit easier that way. And then you would put all of your power into defense. I have it customized a little bit. This is not the default power setting, so I do have them customized just a little bit. Who am I firing at? I don't even know. Firing at this guy, apparently. Let's buff up my weapon power. I also have, due to my level, I have EPS power transfer. It boosts my power settings, which I'm going to go ahead and do now. You can see the green part is above what I have it set to. Ooh. Losing my shield power. And this is what happens when you use beam fire at will. Everyone shoots at you. It's amazing, isn't it? So now I just fly around like this and tank for a bit because I'm a boss. And I don't want to die. This, I just used my evasive maneuvers that boosts my defense rating by something, I don't know, 10 or something. Let me hover over it. 15%. That actually looks like it's based on one of my power settings. A lot of your skills are based on power settings, so they will change frequently, depending on what your power is set at. So keep that in mind. For instance, science officers tend to want to have, and someone just did a pushback skill, will tend to want to have a bunch of power stuck into auxiliary over here, which I have none in, because that will boost a lot of their skills. For instance, this one I'm pretty sure is boosted by auxiliary. I am not particularly caring about that, so I just tend to do this and roll with it. I like to spin my ship around here, shoot this guy, thank you. I really like this game. I've played it a lot. I've sunk a huge amount of time into it, just because I enjoy it that much, quite frankly. Um, it's free too, so I mean, this is kind of my tank's replacement right now. I don't do any PvP. That's not my thing, and someone just did a pushback again. There's a ton of skills, and I got first place, so there you go. We completed our objective, and we can go ahead and leave. And we got a Tetrion Pulse Generator for our first place award there, which is 19% Tetrion damage, which I have none of. Tetrion is a damage type. You can see all my beam arrays that I have sitting around in my cargo here. I do not have that kind of damage. I believe Tetrion is good against shields. It has a bonus damage against shields. But there's a ton of complexity to layouts and stuff like that that you can use, and skill sets that your bridge officers have. These are my bridge officers down here. You can change out their skills, you can train them in the skills, stuff like that. I am not max level, so I don't have the best possible skills, and here's some more officers apparently. Join me! Why the heck not? Have all of the officers. You can only have, dependent on the ship you have. I believe the max you can have is 5 bridge officers on your ship. It might be 6. I think it's 5 though. Because it looks like there's only one more slot for that. So, but you can have a whole bunch in your crew list here, and you can train up their skills, and you can swap them out on ground missions depending on what you need. Science officers are really good at healing. Engineers on the ground set up fortifications and turrets and stuff. Tactical officers are pure DPS. On the ground and in the air, they are pure DPS. So there's my extremely long introductory video of this. If you're interested in seeing more of it and more random stuff like that, I suppose, more PvE, more random missions, I'd be more than willing to do it. I play the game anyway, so you know, it's not like I'm missing anything. I may as well collect rewards here. Unprofitable, how dare it. I got some contraband. But there you go. I'll see you guys next time, I guess. Bye.